Well, things are getting rather interesting when it comes to Jasmine. Now, as you can see here, reported by Starcasm, who also got information from Shabuti. Well, it does say that breaking news: Jasmine is pregnant. It was announced during the taping of the Last Resort Tell All. She is now showing her baby bump and is living in sunny Florida. And then also on top of that, now, but listen, let's just bear this in mind though. The Tell All itself in particular hasn't aired yet. So obviously we don't know this information to be exact, but according to the people reporting it, they are adamant that this information is true and that Jasmine is pregnant. But the question is, who is the father? Now that is the question, isn't it? Given that this information is true about Jasmine being pregnant. But of course, as you can see here in these pictures shared by Starcasm, it's sure showing Jasmine in different lights. And obviously you can see that there has been somewhat of a weight gain and also her position of her body in terms of her arms always been in the way of her stomach. So there is detail here to back up the current story that is going around regarding Jasmine being pregnant. Now, also on top of that, Starcasm does say that 90 Day star Jasmine is reportedly pregnant, and surprise, surprise, Gino is not the father. Okay, now that therefore speculates who the father could be. People are saying maybe it's Matt. I mean, listen, whoever the father is, it is more likely to be somebody who lives in Florida, because Florida seems to be exactly where Jasmine is currently being spotted living. Now, they say here that the hot tea was spilled by Shabu and George on Saturday. The Geo reports the pregnancy reveal was made while Jasmine was taping the Last What Tell All, and that and they confirmed Gino is not the baby's father. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, if Jasmine is pregnant, we all know by default Gino could not be the father in any shape or form. Why? Because he does not sleep with her, which is kind of interesting because in the last season we saw these two before the last resort. Gino kept talking about how he wanted to have a child, how he wanted to build a family with Jasmine. And Jasmine spoke about how she did not want to have a child anymore, or at least she was unsure about having a child again. Fast forward, we're in a situation where Gino does not want to sleep with the woman that he wants to have a child with him, which makes no sense. And then now we're witnessing that the woman who did not want to have a child or was unsure about having a child is now allegedly pregnant with somebody else. Yeah, that is the story of Gino and Jasmine, a story that just really never does make sense and never will make sense. But given this information being true, that means the story of Jasmine and Gino is clearly over. And if it is over, that is good for us, because that means we do not need to see these two share the same screen ever again. It doesn't mean that we won't see them on the show. We may still see them on the show separately. We just won't see them two together again, which is absolutely wonderful, or at least for me anyway. Now, with that being said, it does continue here by saying that Jasmine was reportedly spotted in Florida recently looking very pregnant. Rumors that Jasmine might be expecting again were already swirling after viewers speculated that she had a small baby bump while filming Between the Sheets. I've included a few screenshots of Jasmine from the most recent episode. Just swipe the gallery to check them out, which is obviously the ones that we are witnessing right here in front of our eyes. Okay. Now, with that being said, it says that in one of Benham's behind the sheet scenes, he uses a clapperboard with a date of October 16, 2024. If Jasmine was pregnant and already starting to show in October, then I'm sure she is definitely showing now. And let's not forget though, any post that Jasmine has been posting of herself on her platform, it is easy to say that those are pictures that she's probably taken in advance, because when it comes to social media, a lot of people who are on social media as an influencer always will post pictures from the past, especially if you're somebody who's on the gram in terms of the fact that your brand is all about your look. You know what I mean? So if you're somebody that's influenced in terms of your fitness, your health, unless you're announcing that you are pregnant or whatnot, usually you will still always post pictures from when you looked at your best rather than when you look at your worst in terms of your eyes. And that is why I always say, and many people always say, that don't trust what you see online. And also, some people know very well how to take pictures from the perfect angles. And let's be real, women are very good at that. I'm not saying men aren't, but women are so much better. How many of you ladies have to show your partner how to take pictures of you? Anyway, it continues here by saying, Jasmine has yet to confirm the pregnancy. We will continue to monitor the story and share any major updates. Congratulations, Jasmine. Now, I will say this though. Now, someone that I do know who is in contact with Jasmine, okay, asked Jasmine the question of whether she's pregnant or not. And Jasmine said, well, if that's the case, I better sign up to be on Murray to find out who the father is. So Jasmine didn't necessarily deny drum roll please, did not necessarily deny being pregnant, but she definitely made a joke about, well, if she is, the question is who is the father, so maybe she should go Murray to do the whole DNA test. Obviously she was saying it as a banterous type of response. Now listen, I think the main thing that matters here is that if Jasmine is pregnant, she's really got to understand and really think about the pros and cons when it comes to the situation itself in particular. And when I say that, what I mean is, we know that she's already got a child back in Panama, and we already know that she's trying to get her child to the States, and that's something that has been a struggle. So just bringing in another child into this life right now without even having the confirmation of being able to actually bring her already born children to the States, is this something that's going to make things a bit worse? Is this something that's going to complicate things? I'm just saying that let's not forget Jasmine already has kids, okay, or a kid, whatever the story is, okay, and bringing in another child while you don't even have access to your other kids, or you haven't even been able to bring them to the States has at this moment in time, it makes you wonder, what is your plan moving forward? I would have thought that Jasmine would have been way much more sensible about the situation regarding getting pregnant. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be the negative person, but I'm just being realistic, okay? And we live in a world where so many people already have kids that they don't see, but they see you able to have kids that they but will still end up having kids anyway. You know what I mean? So that's something that definitely needs to be spoken about. I feel like that is probably an even more important conversation to have, you know, more than the one that we are witnessing right now regarding Jasmine herself in particular. Okay, so yeah, let's just think about that. Okay, let's just think about that. All right, and let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section. Do you believe that Jasmine, you know, is right to have a child at this moment in time, given the fact that she hasn't been able to get what she said was one of her main goals, one of the things that she stressed about the most in the previous season that we saw her in Gino, and that was Gino not helping her, or Gino not doing enough to get her here, okay? To not help her get her children to the States. Meanwhile, she's now having kids with somebody else. Okay, like I said, there's always been a lot of inconsistencies when it's come to Jasmine and Gino when it comes to this whole situation regarding having children. And now she's off here allegedly being pregnant with somebody else, knowing the fact that she expressed that Gino was the one that she needed to help her get her kid. Listen, I know it feels like maybe I'm repeating myself, but I'm not. I'm just trying to get out everything that's in my head right now, because there's been a lot of back and forths, and it's just, this situation just doesn't make sense to me. You know, it's dumb as F. You know, I'm just trying to keep it a buck. Jasmine, like, what about the kids you already have? Are you going to be able to bring them to the States or not? And if you can't, are you going to be able to relocate back to Panama with your potential newborn and live a life there without the baby father, given that the baby father maybe does not want to move back to Panama? This shit right here complicates things. And if she really is a good mother, the way she likes to portray herself to be, well then, listen, these actions aren't really telling us anything. And I know a lot of people like Jasmine because of the way she is online. Like, I know obviously people hate her when she's on the show, but then some people like her when she's on social media. But let's not forget though, she's a mother already. Okay, that's something that we have to touch on. I mean, we've already experienced with people like Larissa, you know what I mean, who completely abandoned hers by the looks of it. With that being said, I'm gonna stop ranting there and let you guys obviously chime in the comment section. Yeah, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.